Hello and welcome. It's a good day to be on the farm. At the end of the last episode, we got basically 3 loads off of silage bales, and it is too dark to continue, so we're going to come back to the cabin and take a quick nap till the morning and see what the next month will bring. I believe we probably have another 2 or 3 full loads of silage bales to get off of the grass field, and we're just going to take a quick look around and see. This is still growing, looking good. This is also growing and looking good. So we're going to go ahead and time lapse grabbing the rest of these bales. So I'll be back with you guys in just a couple of minutes. Thanks for watching. Breaking news, field 14 is ready to harvest. And you can harvest this in June and July. This changes everything. Okay, and we're back. As you can see in that time lapse, we did get another 2 loads and 4 bales off the field. But the biggest thing we needed to do was to get everything off that field so that we can sell this immediately and buy field 14, which has harvestable barley on it right now. Now, the reason we're doing this is because we don't want the previous owner to harvest it before we can. So we had to sell that grass field so that we could buy this, so that we can harvest this when we're ready. Wow, look at that, 98%. That is an awesome yield bonus. Yay! Alright, and welcome back. So as you just saw, we got this barley field ready to go, 98% yield bonus, 100% fertilized, ready to harvest. However, our other barley field here, not ready to harvest, still growing. And the same with our oats here, still growing. So we've got a choice to make. Let me pull up the menu here and scroll back up. So barley is harvested in June and July. So if we wait till July, we're guaranteed that both barley fields will be ready to harvest. So that makes sense for renting a harvester for 1 day instead of 2, which will save us some money, about $3,000 if I remember right from last year. Also, our oats can't be harvested till July, so if we wait a month to start harvesting, there's a good chance that we'll be able to harvest all 3 fields at the same time. Now, there's also a chance that we planted those oats too late and they won't be ready till August, in which case we'll still have to pay the $3,000 to get the harvester from July to August. But there's still the chance that even if we rented the harvester today, that these wouldn't be ready till August, and then we'd have to pay that $3,000 twice, costing us an extra $6,000 to harvest. So I think the point was we had to sell our grass field that we were baling to buy this field this morning so that nobody came and harvested it before we bought it. Because if you wait till the end of the day, there's a chance that the previous owner might have came in and harvested it. So we had to get this immediately. But I think now we're going to sit on it for a month and roll the dice, and hopefully we'll at least be able to do 14 and 16 in July, and if we're lucky, 15 as well, and if not, we'll have to do that as well. So that's kind of the plan for the harvester. I think we need to wait a month just to see, so that we don't have to rent one for 3 months, because that would be ridiculous. In addition, wow, look at all those bales. That's amazing. That's going to really help us in the long run, having all those bales. The other thing I want to look at is our eggs, real quick, because I know that we've got some pallets of eggs here, and I don't want them to sit here all night if we're going to skip to July and then not have any egg production because we were full. So we need to load those up with this trailer. Let's actually check the egg price real quick. Where's that at? Eggs here. Ooh, $22.92 is pretty good. Oh, that's at our bakery. At supermarket's $22.90. That's fine. And yep, big jump up in June. So the problem here is if we sell them now, the prices are going to continue to rise all day, and then they're going to drop slightly in July, but stay at the top end of June. But they're already falling, so that doesn't really match. So again, this is not set in stone. This is just an average. So maybe we should just take the price that we have it at now, $22.92. Max price is $25.02, so we'd be losing about $300 1,000 liters of eggs. But we're not going to hold them till November for that, probably. So that's the other option we need to look into, is how are we going to sell these eggs, and what is that going to do for us? So I guess that's the thing we need to do right now to get this moving forward, so we can at least produce eggs as we jump through to July. And then the third issue that we need to address is going to be what are we going to do with our tipper? Oh, now I'm hitting the mower. I thought I could back this up, but I can't. We're going to turn around. And so let's see, open is like this, and then I think if we just pull up, it should start loading those. Yep, we're going from 8,000 to 9,000 liters. And then we need to back up until it starts going again. There we go. Let me zoom out so you can see that. So that's taken from that far pallet. Is we only have the one tipper, and it's full of sorghum. Well, half full of sorghum, but it's currently holding sorghum for our chickens, and when we start harvesting, we're going to need that tipper to cart. So with these eggs here, let me get this last pallet going, and then I will look and see where our chicken food is at to see if we think we can get rid of the rest of that sorghum. So our chickens are at 5,400 liters, but still a little above half. So we can dump some of that in there, but not all of that. And I think the bakery takes sorghum, so let's take a look. Yeah, we can make sorghum flour, so that's okay, because I think chickens can eat barley. Let's go to the help menu and see real quick. Chickens eat wheat, barley, and sorghum. So yeah, we have barley fields, so we can dump the sorghum in our thing, make sorghum flour, and then dump barley into the thing later, so that's fine. So, alright, so that's all of our eggs. We're at 13,000 liters. You know what? If this is the only thing we're going to do in June, let's do it. Let's take this down to the supermarket and sell them for what price we have now, because it's not realistic to hold eggs till November. They would obviously rot long before then. And I don't want to just hold this cart full until November. Plus, I'm a little concerned that it would be over full in November. And even though we'd get a little bit more money for these eggs at that point in time, we might not be able to take them all off. So we're going to go dump this off at the supermarket. And then we're actually going to just skip to July and get this harvest going, because I'm a little antsy to see if our oats are going to be ready in time, or if we're going to have to rent that harvester for an extra day, which isn't that big of a deal. I'm antsy to use that header that we bought several months ago, and I want to say episode 8, because we haven't got to use that yet, and we haven't even got to pick it up because we didn't have a harvester to pick it up off the ground with, so we haven't even been able to put it on a trailer. And I'm a little antsy to get the rest of that sorghum dumped into the chicken coop to see how much we need to dump into our bakery. So we're going, nope, this is the shop. Grocery store is down here. If you look though, there is our New Holland header sitting there ready for our harvester, which we're going to rent here in July and get this harvest going again, so we can finally start making more flour so that we can continue to make more bread. So I haven't dumped with this one yet. Let's just see if we pull on here. See, we're at 112,000 now. Let's see how much we might make. Oh yeah, that's going down immediately. Ooh, and that's really adding up. Can you see that money? Let me get that adjusted on that blue building so it shows up better. That was 31,251 in eggs. Not too shabby. I'm actually really excited about that. I was thinking maybe 20,000, 25 at most. So that's real good. And that was only at like 70% full in this trailer. So that wheat and sorghum we dumped in there has been working out. So I'm going to leave this cart parked over here for now, because we're actually going to just park this whole thing up here so that tomorrow morning we can get an early start, because we need an early start. So let me skip back to here. I think the only left for us to do is sleep until the next month. And so we're going to get up real early, because I'm hoping we can harvest 3 fields and get going from there. So yeah, let's do that. So we're going to run into our house. We're going to sleep. We want to get up at 6 a.m. 5 a.m.? 6 a.m. 6 a.m. will be fine. We're going to get up at 6 a.m. the next day. We're going to see what happens. And we're going to hope that we have 3 fields ready to harvest. But even if we have 2, it's time to get that barley off. And the oats will come off when the oats come off. And we'll go in there from there. So loan interest, property maintenance, production costs, barley ready to harvest, oats ready to harvest. Excellent. So first thing we need to do is we're going to skip down to the shop here. We're going to hop out of this, we're going to actually take a look in our deals, was not what I meant, but some interesting things going on here. Bale wrapper. I mean, we've got our big one. This tipper is interesting because we are currently needing another tipper because our one is full of sorghum, but still 33,000 is a lot, and that's a really big tipper at 45,000 liters. Yeah, I don't think that, and that's for a forage harvester, I want to say. And we don't have any animals, otherwise this would be a great deal on this animal trailer, but we're not there yet. So anyway, so we're going to look at our header. It's the New Holland Superflex, so I want to go R3 to see the combinations. See, this is so crazy. It's telling me that it goes with this case harvester, not the New Holland. Well, whatever. We want to get this header trailer, so we're going to buy that. And then we're also going to come for this case. You know what? Let's rent the case and see what happens. It's a giant red harvester. It'll be a giant yellow header, but we're going to make it work. If it's what it wants us to do, it's what we're going to do. So lease 15,504. Yes. So we're going to go ahead and lease that. Excellent. So we're going to get this, and nope, not yet. Sorry. Hang with me, guys. The way that those came out is in the wrong order. So I'm going to disconnect our trailer. I'm going to pull that header trailer forward so that we can then use the case to pick up the header to drop it on the trailer, so that I don't have to drive down the road and take out all the street signs like I did in episode 1. So we're going to come up here and to the left, and we'll just park that in front of here. Then we'll hop on this thing. This is so crazy that this header is yellow and this one is red, but we bought the one when it said case and that came out New Holland. That is the silliest thing I've ever seen. But we're making it work. But guess what? It connected, so I guess it works. So we're going to go ahead and drop this on here like so, and these should be the magnetic ones that lock. That's why we picked the one in the combinations that matches, so that, see how that's going to snap? Yep, so that's snapped into place. So now we can drive this back down. So I'm going to go ahead and cut the video here, and I will see you guys back at the farm when we are harvesting. Alright, and as you can see, I'm already parked the harvester down there by the end of the field. Now we're just driving the header down on our new header trailer for our old header. And we're going to go ahead and just pull this right here in front of it. We will jump out, and we are going to do field 14 first because it was ready first. Now both 14 and 16 would wilt if we didn't get them done today anyway, but we'll just, you know, this one has been ready to harvest longer, so sticking with that, we will just go ahead and harvest that first. So we're going to go ahead and open that up, and while that's getting ready, we're going to just pull this out of the way a little bit farther down the road. And then we will start with our headlands, of course, down here. And this continues the angle of the road a little bit, but it's slightly different because of the turnabout. So we're going to go ahead and just try to get lined up. Sorry, buddy, you're just going to have to wait as we get this started. And nope, that's incorrect because we're spraying that everywhere. We want to turn on our straw swath, which I don't know the controls for off the top of my head, so we're going to turn the help window on. It is enable straw swath is left bumper and right on the directional pad, like so. We'll go ahead and turn that help window back off. And now we should leave a swath of straw behind us as we're cutting this barley. And that's looking great because we'll get to bale all this up too. I don't know if we'll bale it today because we have a lot of things going on with the harvest. Now typically you wouldn't want to leave that straw on the field overnight because some of it may wash away. Now in the game it doesn't right now. In the seasons in FS19 it did if it rained or anything like that, but luckily we have a sunny day today for harvest, which is good. That would have really not been great if our only month to harvest all of these fields would have been raining. That would have obviously cut away from our profits a little bit. So we're going to go ahead and try to angle around these trees here. Yeah, that's what I was kind of afraid of. Breaking our giant farm equipment, trying to get around this tree. Oh, and I just stuck a tire in there, killed a little bit of our crop, which isn't great. But that's okay. It happens. Alright, we're going to start this here. Just a little tight down on this end, which is why we want to get this headlands cut in so that we have some room to turn around at the end, or that the worker does, because we're going to use a worker for a lot of this as well, because we have to, so that we can cart and do some other things. I shouldn't have left my McCormick tractor running while I was doing this, but live and learn, because we're just wasting gas and hours on that tractor as well. But we need to swap that out with the other tractor, the Zetter, so that the Zetter can cart. And so we just need to maybe go park that trailer, header trailer somewhere, and then we need to kind of flip those around. So actually we should probably do that. Why don't we send this one on a worker heading east and west on this row here on the end. We're just gonna extend our swath a little bit like that so it's not too bunched up on us, and then we'll go ahead and get lined up. And then start cutting this in, and then go ahead and hire a worker for that. So we'll jump out now that that worker's going. Hop in this. We have to grab that Zetter, attach it to our cart, dump the rest of the sorghum that we can into the chickens, go dump the remaining sorghum into the flour mill, and then come back and hopefully empty it before he's at 100%. It's a good thing we started at 6. It's already 7 a.m. and we're just cutting the first length of our first field down there. So we're just going to park this up here for now, back behind. And look at all that bread that we have. We should probably also go and do something about that today. So let me move this a little bit farther over in case you want to pick up that bread while we're waiting. So we're going to flip over here to our Zetter. And we could start baling too, but I don't think we want to bale today as well. I really don't want to bale till we get all of that silage stuff sold, but we'll see how it works out. Where is... oh, it's down by the chickens. That makes sense. And look, 1.5 more pallets of eggs. I guess we could have let the eggs ship over to today. to see if we would have gotten a little bit more money. While this is dumping, we will take a look at that and compare our egg prices. So we're going to overload sorghum. We have 11,000 liters. Where are our prices? So our eggs, oh, 21.24. Yeah, we did get a better price in June because we got 22.0 something. So yeah, we made the right choice selling the eggs yesterday. And then now we'll collect more eggs here between June and November, and that'll be great. So let's go look at our chickens now. They are full at 9,000 liters. And we still have 6,000 liters of sorghum in here that we need to get rid of before we can start putting barley into our tipper. So, like I said, lots going on. Looks like the worker just turned around. I was going to have him do the headlands on this side before we did that, but I guess that's all we can manage at this point. So we're going to run over to the flour mill. Oh, it looks like there is enough room maybe to turn around down here. It's the headlands that are at an angle that were more important to get done. So I guess I'll leave it up to you guys. It's really funny for me to see that case harvester with that New Holland header, but that's the one it recommended because remember when we bought it from the sale it said it was a New Holland. Oh, and AI Worker has a full grain tank. So when we actually can afford a harvester, which won't be this harvest but probably the next one, you guys will have to tell me if you prefer that we get a New Holland so it matches, or if we stick with the mismatched case. Because that's, I don't know, it's kind of funny, but it's kind of unique to this series. I've never seen that happen before. So, alright, so let's go to our production facility here and take a look. And so we aren't making anything right now, so we're going to start making sorghum flour. And that will take this sorghum and start popping out flour pallets down there, which we can then take back to our bakery to make into bread or sell directly. But I was a little disappointed the first time we sold flour directly like that, so I think bread is the way to go if we can keep the production facility running all year. So, gonna come down here. Now, part of getting this Zetter tractor on the farm was to save hours on the McCormick. One of the big things is carting like this. There's no reason we should use our nice McCormick tractor to cart when we have a tractor that is perfectly capable like this in the Zetter that we don't mind spending the hours on. So we're going to dismiss this worker so that we can back up. Now, had I been pointed the other way, I would have been able to just pull under there. And this looks like a really, really long spout for a harvester. It's probably just because the header looks really, really short on this because they're mismatched. But that's just really funny to me. Anyway, we're going to dump that here. And then we'll set this worker back to going. And we'll figure out what we're going to do next. So, anyway, as I was saying, yeah, let me know if you guys want me to use this setup in the future when we actually buy a harvester. I think we probably won't, unless you guys are overwhelmingly fans of this mismatched set, because this header just looks tiny on this harvester, and that spout looks way too big, and it's because normally, I'm guessing the case harvester, or the case header, for this harvester is wider, and that's why the spout is longer, and that's also why it kind of looks funny. So we're going to go ahead and assign that worker. We'll jump out of here and go ahead and get this going. So 57%. So we can take not quite another full load, but close to it. Actually, so let's just park this down here and see if when he comes back down if he's going to dump in that or if we will have missed. So we'll go ahead and turn this off while we're waiting for that. So the issue with baling right now while we're doing this as well is that on the consoles, specifically this PS5, but on I believe the Xbox version as well, you can only have 200 bales in your possession at one time. You can't create any more than that. It has something to do with the way that the graphics are made in Farm Sim. So, well, I'm not going to walk all the way down there. We'll just look on here. Currently, we've made 286 bales lifetime. I don't know how many we had down there, probably around 100. And we had, what, 100? Or we had 8 bales, straw bales. Let's switch back over to here. So, yeah, we have 8 straw bales. No, we have 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24. So we have a full load of straw bales here, plus maybe like 100 bales here. So let's just call that 25. So we're going to have 8 sets of 25, and then we'll hit our bale limit. And I don't want to hit our bale limit before we get this silage sold. So we have, let's just say 25, 50, 75, 100, 125. And 4, but these don't really matter because these are actually 24 instead of 25, so 125, 150. So we're at 150 bales right now, roughly, so we could make 50 bales of straw. So I suppose we could start baling while this is happening too. The other option would be to put the front loader on the McCormick and load up this bread so we can sell it today. So I suppose let's jump back into this and watch as we come down to see if our spout's going to hit that or not. And let's check the bread price and see what's happening here to see if it's worth selling the bread today or not. Obviously, until we have more flour, we're not going to make much more bread, but eventually we will. So bread is almost at its worst price in July. August is worse, and then it ramps back up through December and holds there for January and February. So yeah, 22.67, low is 22.17, so not worth selling the bread today. Although we will need to have that bread unloaded before December, because we'll need to move it off the production facility so we can continue to make more. Or I wonder if that works like the flour, where it will store it and then it'll just pop out extra pallets. Maybe we should leave it there and test it and see. So our spout's going to come out and he's going to stop. Nope, he's not going to stop. So we're going to back up. We're going to dump this. And then we're going to set the worker going, and we're going to go take this over to the flour mill. And then I'll probably cut the episode there, or at least this part of the episode, so that the next episode can be kind of the rest of the harvest. Now that you've kind of seen us get started, and then we'll kind of end. I mean, it's only 7:50 in the morning, but like I said, we got 3 fields to harvest today, and then we'll have a lot of work to do on the ground to get those things up and ready. So let's line this up, get him started. Go dump this off, and then we'll decide what we want to do about baling or the bread here, probably in the next episode. Well, this has been a little bit hectic but exciting to go from let's make some grass bales because we've got some time to kill to, oh no, the field's ready, let's make sure we get all of our bales off of that guy's land before we sell it back to him, and then run down here and buy this one in time to get this started, to now getting flour made again so that we can continue to have production moving forward. And then I guess, obviously if our long-term goal is to be making cakes down here in our bakery, we're going to have to consider at what point in time. Oh, look, see, we already have a pallet of flour down there. So this is our first pallet of sorghum flour. It does just look like the rest. It just says flour. It doesn't actually delineate what type of flour. We just made 1,000 liters of flour. But regardless, if we're going to start making cakes, we should probably look at getting a greenhouse next, because that will allow us to make the strawberries for that, and then we can sell off some of that extra produce that we make from the greenhouse as well. The sugar is going to have to be from sugar beets, which is going to be real expensive because we don't have the right harvester for it, we don't have the right equipment for it, and we don't have a mill to process it. So we're going to have to figure that one out in a future episode, but at least with the greenhouse we can get some of that production going now, and we'll have another one of the ingredients because we'd have flour, eggs, and then the strawberries. I can't remember what the other ingredients are, but anyway, if you like this episode, guys, give it a thumbs up. I really appreciate that, and throw me a comment. I'd love to hear from you, and a subscription if you want to see more great content like this. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Take care.